So today in the Landscape Lowdown, I want to talk about answering the question, should I leave the leaves on my lawn? So there are two schools of thought regarding this topic. One is to actually just leave the leaf debris lay on your lawn. And then the second is to remove every single leaf there is to make sure that there's no leaves on the lawn. So those are two very opposite ways of thinking there. And there's one in between, which I'll touch on. So I'm going to start with the first school of thought. Their basis of thinking is revolving around the thought of a natural ecosystem. So this allows microorganisms and other living creatures to use the leaf debris as insulators during the winter, as a way to break down the leaves naturally. So those microorganisms, meaning fungi and worms and some of those other things, are going to help do a natural process and leave the earth to do the majority of the work. So this would break it down into organic matter, providing nutrients for the soil, and in turn just basically creating a natural ecosystem in your lawn. So that's one way, and this would be basically similar to a forest. So that's one way you might look at things. The second school of thought, like I had said, doesn't want to see any leaves in their lawn. So it looks messy and unmanicured, and their turf typically in the spring will not look as good as it could, oftentimes because the layers of leaves on top of the turf will actually choke out the grass plants and create an environment also for fungal and disease issues, which in turn just makes the lawn look bad. And the other caveat to that is that when you leave leaf debris on top of your lawn, you actually will have critters like mice and moles and things like that start creating tunnels through that leaf debris and actually damaging the turf underneath that leaf debris and creating those lines throughout your yard. And sometimes you can see that in certain people's yards, and also you'll see basically little mole holes and things like that will occur as well where they've dug up the lawn. So that can create issues as well. They think they're below ground, but actually they're in the leaf debris layer, and they're still insulated. So they just make their tunnels through the leaf debris. So that can be an issue. So there's a third school of thought that kind of sits somewhere in between, and this is the thought that you mulch up your leaves with your mower fine enough to help speed up decomposition. So this still adds that organic material to your lawn and provides opportunities for microorganisms and other creatures like worms and things like that to do their thing. That in turn helps add nutrients to the soil and provides that nutrients for the grass plants to take in. Now, there is still a limit to how much leaf debris should be left on a lawn when mulching. If you have a heavy tree cover in your lawn, oftentimes you will end up smothering out the lawn even with mulching. So that is an issue that you'll have to make a judgment call on, whether you can mulch up all of the leaves or not fine enough and consistent enough to distribute them appropriately over the lawn in order for that natural process to take place, or you end up doing kind of a dual thing where you clean up some and you mulch some at the same, do some of back and forth, and as the season goes on, that may change. So what's the answer? Really, the answer starts with you, and your thoughts and your location, your beliefs and your preferences. So I'm not going to give you a solid answer. You're going to have to make that choice yourself. From an ornamental landscape standpoint, which is where landscapers come from, to keep your lawn manicured and healthy, we fall somewhere between mulching up your leaves and cleaning them all up, typically. So oftentimes we recommend mulch what you can and clean up and dispose of the remainder in the woods, if possible, to promote that natural ecosystem in a different location. At least that's what we do at Earthcraft. We actually take any leaf debris that we pick up, and we take it and we distribute it into the woods, and it becomes part of the natural ecosystem in that other location nearby. So that is something to consider. Kind of a middle ground for both of those areas. And so that is up to you. And hopefully this helps you. And if you have any questions or comments or anything like that, please post below. Message us, and I'd be glad to give you more information, more of my thoughts. And we can go from there. We'll catch you later. Thank you.